The secret for multi-unit franchisee success lies behind the systems that those franchisees implement in their organization so that they can delegate operations with confidence and focus on leadership, strategy, and growth. That is the secret. Now, I will be sharing what are those 4 systems that these franchisees are implementing in their organization so that you know what they are. And that way, you know what you need to do in your organization so that you can be just like them. But before I get started with that, let's define what is a system. Okay, so a system is a set of processes and procedures so that when you implement them well, you will have a predictable result. So a system is a set of processes and procedures that implemented well will produce predictable, consistent results. So imagine that is why franchising is so effective, because there is a franchisor or founder of a brand, of a proven brand, that created systems around that brand so that you as a franchisee could duplicate those processes and procedures with a high level of excellence and then produce predictable results in the brand. What am I talking about like this? Well, the set of systems that a brand has created or a franchisor has created is systems around the product that they are selling within the brand, the systems of service processes, the systems of the image of the brand. So those are the systems, but behind each of them, there are processes and procedures that allow you, franchisee, and your team to duplicate that brand with a high level of consistency. Now, the franchisor not only has created those systems, but they have actually have gone through a process that allows them to delegate operations to you and your team. What is that process? Well, first, they defined what those systems were, what those processes were, what those procedures were. Once they define those processes and procedures, now what they have done is that they have documented those processes and procedures, because just because they know them, they cannot duplicate that unless they document it. So they define them first, then they document it, and then the next step is they train their teams and you, franchisee, and your teams, at least at the opening, on those processes and procedures. And then they delegate operations to you. That's how they are able to, now that they delegate operations to you, they go back and help the next franchisee. So they have systems in place, processes and procedures that are defined, documented, trained, and then delegated. And all they do now, once those units are open, is that they are following up to make sure that those systems, processes, and procedures continue to be executed properly. Well, the same way that you have now those systems from your franchisor, when it comes to the brand, you need to have the management systems in your organization so that you can delegate operations and the management of those units to your team. That's what we call the TIPS system, TIPS systems. Let me go over what those systems are. By the way, and these are the systems that successful franchisees develop and create so that they can delegate operations, because it's not enough to have the systems for the brand. You need to have the systems for your business management, okay? So that's where those TIPS systems are. So let's start with the first system. That is a system of T or team. The system to hire, retain, and inspire the best people. Now, as you can see, the system to do that requires a lot of processes, a lot of procedures, and a lot of information and knowledge so that your teams, your leaders are able to do that. They're able to hire, they're able to retain, and they're able to inspire your people in the way that you would do it, or better yet. And for you to be able to do that, there's certain things that you have to do, just like the franchisor has done for the brand. So that is the T or team system. What are the systems and the processes and procedures for your employees, your leaders, to be able to hire, retain, and inspire your people? Now, I'm going to give you an example of one of those. An example is interviewing your people. That is one of the procedures in the process of hiring, right? So the process of hiring, one of the procedures is to interview. Imagine interview is a procedure that you need to clearly define, clearly document, clearly train, and clearly then delegate, so that then you as a franchisee or your district manager can then follow up on its execution. But you cannot just simply follow up on execution without having gone through the first initial steps, right? So that is the system of team. Now there's a whole other system of income. The system of income that a franchisee must develop is a system that allows you to ensure that you have increased revenue year over year. It is true that when you're in a franchise organization, the franchisor will do marketing and promotion so that it will help you somewhat in increasing your sales. But as a franchisee, or at least top performing franchisees, don't just depend on the franchisor to bring them revenue. The franchisees that are top performing, those multi-unit franchisees, they own their sales. They make sure that they have processes and procedures in place in their organization so that they can increase sales year over year. Now, those parts of the procedures are very important, because without that, they have no increased revenue. And we all know revenue is the oxygen of the business. So that is the I system. Now let's go to the P system, which is the system of profit. So, what are the processes and procedures that a franchisee must develop and create so that they ensure that not only are they minimizing the waste, but they are achieving the financial goals of the business? At the end of the day, you didn't open a business to sell pizzas or give massages or to teach children. Oh, maybe you do it because you enjoy that. But the reality why you became an entrepreneur and invested in a franchise is so that you could, at the end of the day, have profit. So this system, as you can see, is very important, because you want to make sure that you squeeze every penny out of that brand you invested in. And for that, you need to have a system in place, a set of processes and procedures, so that you, not you, but your managers, your leaders, your district managers can make the most profit out of your units in the business that you invested in. That is a system of profit. And then we had the last system, which is a system of scaling. We all know that one unit is a job, multiple units is now an enterprise. And at the end of the day, if you want to achieve time and financial freedom, you must have multi units. There's very few franchises that I know of that would truly give you time and financial freedom by just having one unit. So you need to be able to have system in place to scale your organization. And you need to be able to scale so that you can achieve that time and financial freedom. But the systems, these processes and procedures that you need to develop, need to be able to allow you to open unit after unit successfully, and to be able to do it consistently and quicker. Because every day that you're not open, once you decide you're going to open the next unit, is a day that you're losing money. And so being able to know how to do that consistently, not just you, but for you to be able to train your people to do it in a consistent way, is going to be critical for your organization. So there you go. That's the systems. Those are the systems. That's the secret magic that top performing multi-unit franchisees follow day in and day out to be successful. They develop their own management systems, or the TIP systems, the systems of team, income, profit, and scale. Now, obviously, I can tell you all the things about what those systems include, because that is what we have a program to help you develop these systems. Now, the same way that a brand has defined, documented, trained, and delegated the systems of their brand, you need to create those systems for your organization. Now, you need to grab all the systems that I mentioned and define detailed process and procedures for each of them. And then you need to define them. Then you need to document them. Then you need to train them. Then you need to delegate them. And then you need to follow up upon them, whether it's you or your district manager. Now, it's a lot of work. And the reality is that it is all knowable. Anybody can do it. It's a matter of having access to the right information, the right support, the right mentorship to make it happen. And the quicker, the better, because the quicker that you can do all these things, the faster that you're going to be able to scale your organization and achieve that time and financial freedom that you want. So if this is something that interests you, if you would like to implement these systems, you believe, like I know, that these systems are the key for success for a multi-unit franchisee, I would like to invite you to explore our command program. Our command program is a program where through 12 months of development and support, we teach franchisees how to define all of these systems, all of these processes that top performing franchisees do, how to be able to then document them, and we help them document it into a management manual that they can then use to train the managers, train the district managers, train the assistant managers, so that they can duplicate those procedures and those systems with a high level of accuracy and consistency day in and day out. And once you're able to do that, you can then delegate operations, and then you can focus on strategy, on leadership, and growth. Or who knows, maybe you can go on vacation once in a while, which will be amazing, right? So if this is something that interests you, I would like to invite you to join us in a 90-minute information session where you can learn all about our program. What are these systems? And maybe we can share with you, we will share with you these systems in a little more detail, what they are, what are the processes, what are the procedures that will help you define, and then invite you to join us in the command program that I know has made a tremendous impact in many franchisees, through the years. So if this is of interest to you, all you need to do is go to multiunitsuccess.com, multiunitsuccess.com, and in there you will learn a little bit more about that session, register to that free session, and then learn to see if this is a program that can help you achieve the time and financial freedom that you want and deserve. Thank you for being with me today in today's show. I hope that this would make you think a little bit about the things that you need to do in your organization. And if that is the case, join us in the command information session where you can learn all about the program. What are those systems that are so crucial so that you could make the right decision for you and your organization? Thank you. And we'll see you in the next show where we'll give you more tips and information so that you can be successful. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.